we are in a bear market, a crypto bear market. Now more than ever, we have to be very careful of the information, or I should say the misinformation that we digest in the crypto space, that we see on Twitter, on YouTube, especially if you're an ADA holder. And right now in the Cardano charts, ADA, some nice targets to the up. What is up, everyone? Welcome to Crypto Capital Venture. Thanks for coming by. This is ADA on the charts. This is the daily. This is a nice move happening right now. It's an important one. I notice I kind of say that a lot, but this is really an important move. And it's because it's like, it's a huge part of this, and I use this word a lot, grueling bear market. And covering this on the ADA charts has been grueling. These lower highs into this bear market. What's happening right here, so important. Once again, we've been here before. And right now, we're going to wait for this bullish confirmation yet again and see if ADA bulls pull through for us or not. They might let us down once again in this lower high scenario that ADA has found itself in. I got distracted while I was setting up. I'm going to cover these charts. I got a little distracted as I was setting up for this video. I came across this article, and I briefly wanted to bring it. I just wanted to sprinkle it into the technical analysis. It was a price prediction article you might have seen. Cardano ADA will increase to $2.93 by 2025, says experts. Everybody, you know the experts. They know what's up. They know exactly what's going to happen, those experts. I am teasing. The fact is, nobody knows. There are no experts in crypto, especially when it comes to price predictions. It doesn't exist. Even in equity markets, nobody knows in the short term, the midterm, the macro, what is going to happen. It just doesn't exist. It's impossible. There are a lot of predictions. There are, I think, a lot of ways we can anticipate and prepare. It's why I do what I do. It's why I cover the charts. It's why I speculate a lot. It's why I look at all scenarios. But nobody knows. The experts, they don't know. But it's what's happening here that I wanted to talk about briefly. And I was going to dig into this with you. I don't want to do that though. This article stems from this finder.com data. It's a price prediction model or price prediction, whatever you want to call it. A $2.93 ADA by 2025 and a $6.54 ADA by 2030. $6.54 by 2030. Just for reference to this, I just want to say this. For reference, a $15 ADA, and this isn't on this chart, specific to timeline, right? I'm not saying we're getting a $500 million market cap or $1 billion market cap or $1 trillion market cap in February 2023, though it would be nice. I'm not saying that. It's just for data purposes to just have on the screen at all times. But $500 billion market cap is a $15 ADA. For additional context, Ethereum is already there. Ethereum already had this value and market cap. And I don't want to see Ethereum fail. I want to see ETH holders win. But it's in my view, these are two comparable blockchains. I think Cardano's bringing things to market maybe a little slower than Ethereum did, but I think it's doing it better. And so as a value investor, I pay attention to these things. I pay attention to these numbers. $500 billion market cap, Ethereum is already there. We have a more sound, reliable, secure technology in Cardano. So I think it's very much achievable sooner than later, right? So the reason I'm bringing that up is because they have, let's say, a $2.93 ADA by 2025. And by the way, if that happens, crypto markets in general not doing as well as we all thought. Bitcoin probably suffering, not doing very well. This is over 3 years away. We've already like a year into the bear market. So if cryptos aren't breaking all-time highs by then, there's a bigger issue. There's a bigger video to be doing. But we extend this out, $6.54 up, and I messed up. This is 2025. $6.54 by 2030 over here. We're talking, that would be like a $200 to $300 billion market cap or something. By 2030 for ADA, they're saying it wouldn't even be more than a $200 to $300 billion market cap. Ethereum's already hit $500 billion. And they're saying in over 7 years, Cardano won't do that. from a data perspective and keeping into context the long-term growth of crypto, keeping into context the blockchain that Cardano is building and the utility that is already there and that will be there and the scalability that is to come, the decentralization that is to get better, and the security it provides. They're saying still won't even have hit a $500 billion market cap by 2030. I disagree with that. And I'm not going to dig into what I was going to do in this video, but I just want to say this was, put together by a panelist. There's a huge list here. Nothing. I come at you humbly, everybody. I have nothing bad to say about anybody here, but just doing some brief digging and looking at that, it's clear to see that when we're seeing data like this and we're seeing articles or price predictions like this, you have to keep in mind, like, what is behind this data? And in fact, it's just opinions from oftentimes, most times, especially considering Cardano, of people building on the other blockchains. And there's not really solid data behind these price predictions. There's not solid information that backs this up. I clicked the article. I wanted to see some technical analysis or something. I wanted to see what was this? What was this expert prediction? And it's not. It's a panelist of people. At first glance, it looks like just people building on other blockchains in the space. And some saying that Cardano, doesn't really have any utility, is not going to have utility, things of that nature. But my point is, this is presented to crypto space. This is presented to new people coming into crypto, and they see this and they're like, oh, Cardano seems like lousy crypto. Oh, they don't have any utility. Oh, they're not building anything. Oh, it's just this misinformation thing. And I just wanted to point it out, not to harp on it. I don't do that a lot at all, but I wanted to point it out because it's something to be very careful of in the crypto space. People out there, oftentimes, they just don't want to see you win. In fact, oftentimes they want to see you fail. That's why we see all the tribalism in crypto. These blockchains and people, these holders of other cryptos fighting each other, arguing with each other. They want to see you fail. Oftentimes when there's a huge media outlet writing a crypto article, they're not thinking about you in the sense of, I want these readers, I want to see them win. They're not considering what you're holding and saying, I want to see them win with this. They're not. So I just wanted to bring that up. Be careful and prepare. Prepare because this happens most often in ADA with Cardano. The misinformation is crazy. People they talk negative about it. And oftentimes it doesn't even make sense. It's not relevant to the technology that already exists, let alone will exist as it continues to scale and be built. That's that. That's my little rant on that, but let's dig into the charts. Here it is on the weekly. 200-week moving average in red there, you see coming right up. Don't know if it'll happen. Biggest thing on the weekly, I'm not going to spend too much time on this because we covered it, is the MACD cross that happened, this MACD crossing the signal line in red, the blue crossing through the red. Histogram seeing some nice uptick this week. Again, as I mentioned in a previous video, this is going to be an important weekly close. How strong does that close? How strong does the momentum for ADA close? But it really gets interesting as we dig in here. And by the way, on this weekly chart, just take note here. And this is why I say this is so important what's happening right now. This is a swing high, lower high on the macro at the 20-week moving average in green. Important. We go here. Here's what's happening on the daily chart. Last time ADA has broken above the 50-day moving average in blue and closed a candle above, a green candle above. Last time that happened was back here in that March to April area. Now, and you can see it closed a candle here and actually saw just this nice move to the upside, and it was a lower high. This is the whole thing. Y'all know we've been tracking this crypto journey, this Cardano journey in the charts prior to the bull market high, right? We enjoyed this run up, right? There's countless videos of that happening, but we've also just been a part of this downtrend. And these lower highs has been a huge part of it. And now we have, again, this area where the bulls have an opportunity to confirm a bullish environment. And the question is, now that we track it, will it happen? And so we're here right now. And this is really a critical week for ADA, even down to the day. So we have this daily candle closing above this blue 50-day moving average. What I want to say here is this. What we're looking for is what we see in bullish environments. And I'm going to zoom really far out in the daily chart and actually just zoom back. And it's very simple. It's just higher highs and higher lows after coming out of, and let me go a little bit more here. After coming out of any type of swing low, it's just crossing back above those moving averages and seeing support above them, right? And just seeing higher highs and higher lows above them. It's a trend. It's an upward trend. The moving averages provide this just wonderful illustration and visualization on these charts in terms of just what direction a crypto is headed in. It's very much appealing to the human eye to watch these charts, especially when we start sprinkling in momentum oscillators. We start sprinkling in on the shorter term charts the structure that gets formed when this is happening. But going back here, what we're looking for is higher highs and higher lows now above these moving averages. And it's a 20-day moving average as a 50-day moving average. So that means we're looking for support now. Now, with that being said, what I wanted to talk about is this. For me, in my experience, when we're getting set up to see any type of bullish move, if we get this bullish rally, equity markets are just cruising maybe, Bitcoin's cruising, crypto's cruising, each altcoin getting their turn to shine. In this environment, and we're getting ready to see maybe a potential 20-day moving average cross above the 50-day moving average, it's not out of the question to see ADA return to the 20-day moving average along that journey. And that could be something that happens tonight. It could be something that happens tomorrow. It's just a big type of correction in this upward journey to the 20-day moving average is what we'd want to anticipate. If we saw support at the 50-day, even better, right? If it only just falls there and just actually continues up or sideways and then up, that's even better. But I always allow room to the 20-day moving average, especially as we're getting ready for a 20-day moving average potentially to cross above, right? So we have room right now, the 20-day moving average to 46 cents. We have room for like a 10% correction or something. Now, that's on the daily chart. And if we go back to the daily, or if we zoom out on the daily and we go, this is what failure looks like, right? Failure looks like we're getting the break above these moving averages. Everybody's just happy. Cardano's doing its thing. But it's the moment of truth. It's when ADA starts dipping, what does it do at these moving averages? And you can just see it's failed. And it's done that time and time again, this entire journey to the downside. So we're waiting for that bullish confirmation of support in this general vicinity. And we're there. We've waited once again for structure. We've waited once again for some type of bottoming out, some type of consolidation. We've waited. Here we are again, and we have this area on the charts to just watch. And that's what I'm watching. Now, zooming back out, important to note on the momentum oscillators, you can see ADA has room to the upside. You look at this move that happened back in March, that swing high that we were just talking about back in March to April, and you look at the RSI, it got into that overbought territory, and it's a similar vicinity that it got to back here in August to September, overbought. And ADA has room to that upside. So there's plenty of room for ADA to make this move to this next macro resistance area, which is this upper trend line. And that's around the 75 to 80 cent area, which we've talked about, 80 cent being a very big resistance area for Cardano. Going on to the zoomed in 6-hour chart, just to give you some short-term perspective. Here's the breakout of this very short-term trend line to the upside. Again, we always want to just take into account potentials for throwbacks to upper trend lines before continuation. Interesting to note, the upper trend line of this formation is right at that 20-day moving average that we just talked about over here, around 46 cents, potentially in play for ADA to make a move to. That doesn't mean the bulls have lost, but they really need to hold that area. So a throwback to that area to the downside, something to anticipate before potential liftoff going into Vassal hard fork. Or straight up, ADA just really performs really well on the 6-hour chart, hits its target in the 60, 61 cent range out of this formation. And then we have all of these other targets to the upside. Again, this trend line being one of them up in that kind of 80 cent range. You can just see it right up here. And what that plays into is this busted ascending triangle that is in play. Remember, broke to the downside out of the lower trend line and just immediate formation, never broke to its targets, and now just making this turnaround back to these areas, right? So just the move to this entire vicinity up to 80 cents, 100% in play for ADA. Altcoins potentially right now in this market taking turns in performing well. So with ADA going to Vasa hard fork, we're going to watch to see if it can do something similar. And I should just say and should note, if ADA does see a downtrend to this area for support at that 20-day moving average, we have to consider if it fails, be very careful on this macro that ADA is just setting up another lower high in this continued downtrend if markets as a whole are falling. So this is what I'm watching, everybody. Be careful out there. Let me know your thoughts in terms of what is next for ADA. I appreciate each and every one of you. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.